Welcome back to Best of the Bets. I'm Christina Nicolaides and we're looking at Sunday's action and, of course, the Manchester Derby, which is being played on Monday. I have our regular guest with me. I've got Gareth Walker, who's our bookie extraordinaire. Hi, Gareth.
Hello, Christina.
And Sam Dymond, who's our editor of bestofthebets.com and our resident football expert. How are you doing, Sam?
Very well, very
Good.
well.
Right, we're starting with the Manchester Derby, which is the Monday night game.
Manchester United are 2.2, draws 3.45, and Manchester City 3.4 to at least take some consolation from the season.
This is an odd fixture, really, because with Manchester United now out of all cup competitions and the league title on the brink of being over, this is pretty much their last meaningful game of the season.
It's all winding down.
After this, what really else have they got? They'll go and win the title in the next couple of weeks. But this is a huge game, and I think we all remember what happened in this fixture last season when City won 6-1, and I certainly don't think that will be lost on Alex Ferguson. He wants a result in this game, and it's almost as though he made this game the priority over the Chelsea Cup game on Monday. About the same time last year, where they met on a Monday night in April, and the title shift in City's favour with City edging that game.
Very cagey game, yeah.
A very cagey game, and I think it's going to be a cagey game again, because I think that there'll be that similar tension, despite the fact that you haven't got that ultimate prize on offer. 0-1 goals on the goal crazy for me. Looks a decent bet.
It's priced at 3.6. I think when this fixture took place at the end of last season, people were expecting goals, but I think this time people aren't really expecting goals. People are expecting it to be fairly cagey. You've got Ferguson, who in the big games has been sort of very defensively set out and inviting the opposition on, and then obviously Mancini's Italian, so he's not going to be going gung-ho by any means. So yeah, it does point to low goals, and I agree with Sam that I don't see many goals in this fixture. I'd certainly side with United over City, but actually I'm going to go with no goals here. 12.6. United don't do goalless draws, but perhaps they will on this occasion.
Funny, for all the times that we said that they couldn't keep a clean sheet early in the season, they very much got that part of the game right now, hasn't it? I think 7 straight wins and the last 6 have been with a clean sheet. City, they're quite impressive against Newcastle, but what did they really beat in that game? They've lost 2 of their last 3 away games. And
you have seen the difference that Vincent Kompany has made since he's come back.
Vincent Kompany's a great player. In fact, he was the match winner a year ago, wasn't he?
It'd be a big price for first goal scorer again. 41 wouldn't put you off that. If there's going to be a goal set piece, really think would be the way to go.
Right, you've heard what the boys have had to say about the Manchester Derby, but it's now time to hear from Mike.
If I was to side one way, I'd be more inclined to side with City, and there's a 0.25 Asian handicap line with the visitors that I think is possibly the best play to take on, keeping the 2 results on side. You make a small profit on the draw, but if it is going to go one way, I'd be inclined to say with City for the simple reason that United have set these incredible standards all season, and I think it's hard to maintain that. I think that, after 30-odd games, the points that they've accumulated over that period is unbelievable, really. It's unprecedented. And it does make you wonder whether there'll be a regression to the mean in the final few weeks of the season, and whether that's perhaps started already.
OK, so Mike is going Manchester City plus 0.25 on the Asian handicap, so that's a quarter of a goal. That's priced at 1.9.
Thank you, Gareth. We're going to move on to our next game, Tottenham versus Everton. Both teams pushing for top 4.
Massive game on Sunday, this. Tottenham are 1.9, the draw's 3.6, and Everton 4.4.
Everton will revive those hopes with 3 straight Premier League wins. They're still going to be without Marouane Fellaini and Stephen Pienaar. And I think there's also now, is there a doubt over Kevin Morales as well?
It's not
scored
good news
a
from
fantastic goal against Stokes in the only goal of the game last week. So for once, Everton are looking relatively solid at back-to-back clean sheets for only the second time this season. But if those 3, well, 2 of those are definitely missing out. If 3 of those miss out, kind of wonder how they're gonna get on up front. I think Everton's only hope here really is the fact that Tottenham have got another Europa League game on Thursday night. We saw how rusty they were against Fulham when they came back from that Inter Milan trip. I think Tottenham will do enough to get past, but just on the back of Thursday night's game, I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game. 1-0 Tottenham, 7s, but again, the bet I like 0-1 goals.
0-1 goal, which is priced at 3.6. I think the unders is the way to go here. See, under 2.5, which is 1.9, is a bet I really like here. If you're feeling a bit more confident and want a bigger price, if you go under 2 goals, that's priced at 2.6. If there are exactly 2 goals, you get your money back. or the option Sam mentioned of goal crazy, naught or one goal at 3.6. Maybe correct score, maybe throw a couple of euros at Everton to nick it 1-0. That's priced at 9.6. Certainly wouldn't expect a
lot of it was made of those 2 games that Tottenham lost, but apart from those, they won 5 of the other 7 lately. So I think they're in good form. Their fans don't seem confident they can land Champions League football, but I am.
These are the 2 most pessimistic sets of fans in the country. Both waiting for it to go
for
down
the bubble to burst.
Yeah. So two good teams, but I don't necessarily think this will be an entertaining game.
Okay, we're going to move on to Chelsea versus Sunderland.
Yeah, new manager shakes things up a bit, particularly being Di Canio. Certainly won't be dull. Yeah. Chelsea are 1.3 for this game. The draw's 5.2, and Sunderland 10.3 to give Paulo a dream start.
And whether you think the Di Canio appointment is a good one or not, it's been under a lot of scrutiny this week.
It'll shake them up.
It will shake them up. It's the rocket they need, and it may well end in tears ultimately. But for the next 7 games, it may be the rocket that Sunderland need to just get them out of this terrible situation they've got themselves into. It looks a tough fixture for them, but again, Chelsea this will be their 4th game in 8 days now, and it's not that long ago since Sunderland went to Stamford Bridge and played them off the park and won 3-0 just 2.5 years ago. I just can't see that kind of thing happening again. I think there'll clearly be a reaction from Sunderland. Di Canio will get them fired up, and you'd like to think that Chelsea will sort of be a bit jaded. But I just ultimately don't think that Sunderland are good enough to get anything here. But I think it'll be close, so I'm going to go with Sunderland plus 1.25 on the Asian handicap.
So getting a 1.25 goal head start. That's odds against. That's priced at 2.1. I think that's the way to go if you want to side with Sunderland. It'd take a real leap of faith to back them, although I'm sure 10.3 that'll have its takers. I mean, you've really got to be, we've said before, looking to oppose these teams that have got these games on Thursday, particularly in light of Chelsea having the extra game last week. But I mean,
especially considering as well that the opposite to Ferguson, that Benitez has clearly made it his priority trophies.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know whether he got so much stick after resting the players against Southampton.
I don't think he cares.
Well, I'd be very wary of just looking at thinking, well, Chelsea, one of the best teams of the country, Sunderland, one of the worst. I'll steam into the 1.3. Certainly have a note of caution with it. I'm going to go at this from the under goals point of view. There seems a few games this weekend where I'm not envisaging too many goals, but under 2.5 goals is odds against. That's 2.1. I can't see Chelsea running up a huge score. Okay,
we're going to move on to QPR versus Wigan.
QPR are 2.4. Draw 3.45 and Wigan 3.1.
For this game, well, QPR are very much drinking in the last chance saloon now after consecutive 3-2 defeats. But what we did see in the second half at Craven Cottage was the fact that just that momentum is such a big factor. And the momentum was all with QPR, and they nearly came back and got a point. The bigger picture, though, is that the momentum for this game, and it's a very tricky word to say, is with Wigan, because they've now won 3 of the last 4 in the Premier League and 5 out of 6 in all competitions. So they will won't be scared of going to Loftus Road. The 2 sides played out a very entertaining 2-2 draw back in December. And funnily enough, the 2 QPR goal scorers that day, Ryan Nelson, Djibril Cissé, neither at the club, which just highlights the upheaval that this club has gone through in the last couple of years.
Games,
how many players have they got through? And it's no surprise, really, to see them sort of in the position that they are in. Wigan, you're quite right, not the most fluent against Norwich, but got the win. And they're scoring goals away from home as well. 7 games since they failed to score, which for a team in their position you wouldn't normally expect. QPR have to go for it. They need to win this. So I'm going to go with goals again here. Bit of a contrast to the previous couple of games. Over 3 goals for me at 2.5.
Yeah, I like that bet. It's a rare week when we're in so much agreement.
Momentum, isn't it?
These tough words we're adding, rare and weak. Both teams to score 1.65. I mean, it's short, but surely there'll be goals, because you can't imagine Wigan won't create chances and score goals.
I quite like a repeat of the 2-2 scoreline from earlier in the season, 12.6 for the 2-2 draw.
How about QPR 2, Wigan 4, that's 41. QPR 3, Wigan 4, 51. Or on the goals crazy market, you can cover a whole host of scores, 6 or more goals in the match. That's priced at 14.4. I think this could be, of all the games this weekend, I think this is the one I most would like to see, because I mean, anything could happen, and tactics out the window, all sorts. It should be
a good game.
Definitely.
Right, next game, Newcastle versus Fulham.
Newcastle are 2.05 for the home win. I'm thinking you're maybe not going to go for them for your best bet for once this week. The draw is 3.5 and Fulham are 3.8.
quite like Duff as an angle this week because he scored the own goal at Villa Park that ultimately sent Newcastle down, and the Newcastle fans have held him.
He was forced to play at left back.
Yeah, exactly. They've given him a lot of stick ever since, and he always raises the game against Newcastle. Loves playing them, and I was just like, Damien Duff any time to score 6.2 on Sunday, and if he does, he'll celebrate it. Yeah,
he certainly will. I mean, I can't really trust Newcastle at 2.05. No. There's a sort of bounce effect for both of them because Newcastle have got this big game against Benfica on Thursday. So I mean, it's tough to call, but at the prices, I mean, I've got to side with Fulham because 3.8 is a decent old price in anyone's book. And
can you see many goals, Gareth?
What I can see actually is the turnaround. Maybe Newcastle to lead at half time, and then Fulham to come back and win full time. That's priced at 27. Sort of that Reading match is very much in my memory where Newcastle looked quite comfortable. That got the goal, but they were quite edgy, and then once it comes back to one each, and the fans are.
Fulham have done that at St James's before as well. They come back from 1-0 down to win 2-1. No Steve Sidwell and possibly no Ashkan Dejagger stops me pulling the trigger on Fulham here. I thought it was very evident that Fulham looked quite unbalanced when Dejagger went off injured on Monday night. So that's going to stop me piling into the away win.
OK, last game, Liverpool versus West Ham.
1.3 for the home win, 5.3 for the draw, and West Ham and their chronic away record 9.4 for what would be a big shock.
I would, and if you're a West Ham away fan, I'm not sure you'd be bothering making the trip for this one because their record at Anfield is nothing short of diabolical. 50 years since they won at Anfield.
Wow.
42 attempts they failed to get a win.
It's not going to happen either this weekend.
No, I can't see it. They failed to score on their last 4 trips to Liverpool as well, and Liverpool are looking good at home. They've got the measure of the teams in sort of the bottom of the table. Won 5 of the last 6, clean sheets in 6 of the last 8 at home, and they've handed out thumpings to Swansea, Fulham, Norwich, Sunderland and Wigan. West Ham just pouring away from home. They've lost 8 of their recent 10 away games in the Premier League. You pick a scoreline here because it could be anything, and for me, 4-0 Liverpool.
4-0, which is priced at 12.5. I'll be slightly more optimistic for West Ham. Can't make a case for backing them. I just think Allardyce seems to just give up almost. He's almost just saying, don't worry about these games. We're going to lose these games. No point in wasting a lot of energy. Let's focus on the must-win games. Big win for them last week. So maybe just go and try and keep it respectable. They lost 2-0 at Chelsea. Maybe a repeat here. 2-0 is priced at 8.5.
OK. Now, we've had our say, but it is time to hear from you in terms of the tweets that you've been sending us. And the one tweet that stood out the most, because it does oppose what you guys have been saying, is from @ChrisNotMatt, who's saying, actually, surely over 2.5 goals in the Manchester derby is a dead cert for the weekend. And he wants to know what odds Company to score any time.
Well, the over 2.5 is priced at 1.75, so he's going against us. We can't have that.
He is. I think I prefer Matt to Chris.
Can't even get his name sorted out. Never mind his bet. And the Company anytime, actually, which isn't a bad shout. I quite like that one. Yeah, we'll give him that one. That's priced at 12.
Right. So we've heard from one of our tweeters, Gareth. Best bet for Sunday.
I'm going to go for Wigan at QPR.
Okay.
Could finish any scoreline, but Wigan at 3.1 look a good bet there.
Sam, best bet for Sunday on Monday.
I'm going to look at this game between Tottenham and Everton at White Hart Lane. I'm going to go 0-1 goals at 3.6.
OK, for me and my best bet, I know I normally go for Man United or Newcastle. I think Man United will win the derby, but so I am going to go for something different, and I'm going to go Liverpool to beat West Ham. OK, well, Liverpool are 1.3 to beat West Ham, which you can go for if you wish.
Other options you could go for if you go for Liverpool to win by 2 or more goals, so minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap. That's priced at 1.95.
Yeah.
Or the other way perhaps to play it would be Liverpool to lead at half-time and win at full-time. That's priced at 1.75, so maybe one of those might be a better option.
Brilliant.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. If you'd like to place your bets on any of this weekend's action and Monday's Manchester derby, then head to our website, which is heavenbet.com. For our Danish viewers, you can watch the show on footy.dk. And for you to place your bets, it's mermaidbet.dk. We will see you same time, same place next week. See you then. Bye-bye.